Makers Row is an online marketplace that connects American manufacturers with brands and designers.
I started my own line, manufacturing everything overseas, and had a lot of troubles with the language barriers and the time zone differences. So I wanted to create another company here in the States. I wanted to know everyone who was touching the product, from the material suppliers all the way to the end contractors. And during that time, Tanya and I partnered up.
And at one point, Matthew and I were going door to door in Midtown Manhattan looking for the right material supplier, the right contractors, because we wanted the best. And so that's why I mentioned to Matthew that we should start a website that solved this issue.
One late night, we were working on the product, and I was online, I was ordering a pizza, and I saw that there was this process, and they said, Mike is putting the cheese on your pizza, Fred is putting your pizza in the oven, and Mike will be delivering your pizza within a half hour. And I said, why can't manufacturing be that easy? And so that's where we came up with this just 6-step, very digestible process for someone that just has a basic idea to get all the way to product in hand. And so that's how we've broken down the step to take your dream, your concept, all the way to a physical product in hand.
And so that's what we're trying to do with Makers Row too, is make it more human. We put a lot of images, we put a lot of videos up. Especially with the internet, you're able to instantly connect to a community that in the past you didn't have access to.
Now we have about 30,000 brands and designers that are looking for American manufacturers on our site. And we have about just over 3,000 manufacturers that are here in the United States. But we've seen everyone on the site, from design students all the way up to some of the biggest brands that are here in the United States, looking for American manufacturers as well. Most of the time, these big brands, they get their samples done by these manufacturers, and then they ship those overseas to get done in mass production. But what we're seeing more and more, month to month, season upon season, is that these mass orders are staying here in the United States because of the fast turnaround time. When you have that constant dialogue with these manufacturers and personal contact with them, it leaves much less room for error in your products. And that's paramount. When I'm waiting 3 months to get my order sent from overseas, and then there's a problem with them, now I'm gonna have to wait at least 3 or 4 months for this problem to get fixed.
What we see is that a lot of people are creating solutions to their own problems for their own communities. So for instance, a full-time ballerina now wants to create a new version of a leotard in order to make it easier to dance. And so she was able to find a pattern maker that is working with her in order to get the specifications, and a sample maker and a production manager. Similarly, there was two skaters that like to skate full time but wanted to create a shirt that helped protect their electronics while they're skating. And they didn't find it in the market, so they decided to go on Makers Row and find the right sample makers and production managers in order to solve that issue too.
So we see people that are in the tech industry now, and they're trying to create apparel goods, whether it's promotional goods or what have you. And so they have no idea how that gets done. But being on Makers Row, following that 6-step process, it makes it a lot easier for even more established businesses to break into other industries. We also see a number of mom and pop shops trying to create uniforms for their employees. So they're trying to create t-shirts or jackets or what have you. So fashion is this, and apparel is much, much larger than just fashion alone.